Welcome to Between Bytes with Riches. This is the place where we serve up stories that stir the soul and celebrate the spirit of culinary craft. I am Pankaj Chaturvedi, and for me, food has always been more than just business. It's about passion, it's about purpose, and the power to bring people together. And today, we are bringing some incredible minds to the table.
Hi, I'm Rakhi Vaswani, chef, culinary coach, and the founder of Palette Culinary Studio and Academy. I've spent a lifetime turning ingredients into stories, and I'm super excited for the one we're about to unfold today.
And that story begins with someone who's redefined indulgence, innovation, and the impact in the world of chocolate.
She's a name that evokes not just taste, but legacy, creativity, and sheer brilliance.
A third generation master chocolatier who took charge of a family business at just 18.
She's an entrepreneur, an international chocolate judge, author, consultant, and so much more.
Please join us in welcoming the fabulous, fearless, truly fantastic Zeba
Zeba.
Kohli.
That's a lot to live up to, guys. But thank you. Thank you.
So Zeba, welcome once again. And Raki, thank you for joining.
Pleasure.
And
pleasure.
I just wanted to say, tell me something, Zeba. How much time it took you for you to come from all the way from Colaba to this place?
Well, it took me 2.5 hours. And I can tell you one thing, I do not mind my time alone because I use this time to just kind of, sit down and find my quiet space and look forward to where I'm going and the joy that I'm going to have here. So yeah, what's in time, right?
That's brilliant.
I think that's really lovely. I'm going to, take that note of hers, which is that time with her alone, and you can actually do so much more and, I think be more creative. So
Yeah.
that one I'm keeping with me for sure.
Good.
That's lovely. So let's begin. Okay, so Zeba, I want to start with this question of asking that what really stirred the passion to become a chocolate sommelier?
So my journey has been seriously organic. My first love was physics. I suddenly decided in the 8th, 9th, 10th grade of my school that science is what I loved, and I kept veering towards physics. And when I went, I got admitted to a science college, and suddenly, my mom, after a whole year, turns around and says, Zeba, I'm a microbiologist. I'm sitting in my dad's business, which is my nana's business. And I don't know accounts. I don't know so much. Gosh, you got to leave science and head towards commerce, accounts, economics. And trust me, I didn't have fun. So the very accolade and all this joy that you all have added to my day today is, honestly speaking, has been only through learning, experience, and just going back into the market, wherever I may be located, and just seeing more, learning more in this industry of food, primarily sweets.
That's brilliant.
That's lovely. So I want to know, what's your first memory of a chocolate or a dessert that literally changed everything for you?
I don't have any such memory other than the memory of sweet, caramel, marzipan, and the most luscious truffle. Because fantasy chocolate, and where I kind of grew up in, my granddad's brand, everything was going from school to have my lunch with my mom and then going down to his shop. And I was all of 8 or 9 or 7. Number is just a number, right? The only thing I know is I looked forward to going down there just so I could eat and wipe the platter clean. So there were times when it was a fudge, there were times when it was a nougat. I didn't know the difference. all I knew is I loved to eat. And that's when I realized, year on year, after all my school years, college years, that this interests me. And so here I am.
So it's kind of embedded from your childhood, I think, you know.
Yeah, it's a part of my
it was
growth.
yeah, it was a path you were eventually supposed to take, and you've experienced that growing up. So that's amazing.
So tell me, Zeba, was there ever a moment where you almost took a decision to follow a different path?
Yeah, this even I want to know.
So does this have to be one moment? Because every day, when it was in the early days, I would wake up. No one really knew when I was all of 15 about chocolate. And yeah, no one knew chocolate. So for me, it was this sweet. And then I started learning more and I realized every day, should I just change my career path? Because every time someone asked me, "Ke, aap kya pad rahe ho?" And I would say, "Bas, chocolates." And they'd look at me and say, "Ha ha, kitni pyari, itni achhi hai. Kya achhi bachchi hai?" And I was like, no one took me seriously, guys.
No, I need to, change that because I know growing up, everyone who knew about chocolate in the industry, everyone knew it was fantasy and it was Zeba Kohli.
Oh.
The two names were kind of together, they went hand in hand, they resonated, and I think it was on everyone's lips. So I'm not letting you take away from
But
that.
Chef Rakhi, you are a baby compared to me. I said early years, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
No, but chocolate is chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate is, for me, it's joy. I feel joy. I feel just there's so much to learn every single day and so much to teach you, like I want to do a tasting right now because I'm already happy.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Why don't we have a tasting? I want to know that.
Yeah, we could do that after the
Yeah,
session.
I mean,
immediately.
imagine I think the words would flow even
I
better.
have surprises lined up.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah, why
can't
not?
wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Good for me.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rakhi. In fact, I was talking to a chef of mine just now, and this morning, and I asked him this question. I said, "यार, ऐसा कौन है जिसको चॉकलेट समझ में आती है?" मतलब समझ में सबको आती है, मेरा
Of
कहना
course, yeah.
मतलब टेस्ट सबको समझ में आता है, क्या अच्छा है क्या बुरा है, बट क्या दिल को छू जाएगा, वो ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ है चॉकलेट में जो कोई ऐसा समझ सकता है कि यार ऐसी चीज़ को लॉन्च करना चाहिए. Now that is something that's a kind of strength what Zeba has.
She
I guess,
has, yes.
right?
Oh, that
Definitely.
I am so grateful for
Yeah.
you to say that. But I also want to warn you कि ऐसी चीज़ है chocolate जो हर mood के ऊपर अलग अपने आप को बताता है. So it's so important, your mood, your location. That is so important. Like if it's so hot, and you need a chocolate, if you get a chocolate that's melted all over and a caramel, yes, if you're 8, you're going to do I'm going to lick it off my hands stuff. But otherwise, you might just want something a little cooling, So mood, location, food, everything is really important.
Yeah.
So I'm actually waiting for, the bell to ring and like a whole tray of chocolate to come now. But before that, I want to ask you another question. So I want to know, what would the 22-year-old Zeba, who had taken over that family legacy, say about the, where you are right now? Have you done enough justice, or is there more that you could do to that?
So the 22-year-old would tell me, बस इतना कुछ करो यार और भी कुछ करो.
Yeah, so you don't stop basically.
Why would you stop?
Yeah.
It's so exciting to be alive. Every moment is a gift. I do not want today to turn into a philosophical podcast, but let me tell you, enjoyment is a philosophy, is a way of life. And for me, every product, every tasting, the fact that I'm here today is I'm already thinking, what do I want to taste with you guys? What's really the mood?
Chocolate?
Of course. And you know, I love my mithais. I love sweet. So it's again all about the mood and the location.
Okay. It doesn't show on your body that you
Yeah,
love so much sweets.
I mean, I would also say that, yes.
But that's your own,
That's 6
mehnat.
feet tall, guys. It's
Yeah.
being 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Zeba, what personal value has never changed? I mean, no matter what, how much the business has evolved over a period of time, what is that personal value that has never changed for you?
So in all my lives, I would choose one thing. And that is, I never give up. I don't know what is this phase to give up, because usually there are only and always boulders, and especially if you're working with a product as fragile as chocolate. And especially in our very own India, where, the humidity, the temperature conditions, all of these are challenges.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I do not view it as a challenge. I just know it exists. I don't know the difference. Like, even if it is in my personal life, my professional life, in everything I do, if there is a hiccup, if there is a boulder, I look at it and I sleep over it. Because I know that tomorrow morning I will have an answer.
You take a pause.
I always, I may call it a pause, but I probably call it sleep. I sleep over it.
Beautiful.
I don't take it to bed with me.
So, in this whole journey of yours, what's that one thing that you've never shared publicly? Like, people don't know about. I mean, you and I are quite close, and I do know that you've gone through a lot. Like, you just so easily mentioned that you sleep over it, you don't call it a pause. I know there have been struggles. So, what is it that you've never shared publicly?
So on the professional front, I've been pretty candid. On the personal front, I have dealt with, and I think that I'm okay to talk about it, is a few health issues. And that's when I actually have used that period to learn more. So if I had to take a pause, now here I would say pause applies, because I've probably had to reschedule a couple of my courses that I teach. I've had to modify dates of travel. If I was going for a course, I'd probably have to take one a little later. And that's when I would take a pause. But to me, a pause is also positive. It's a P word. I would take a pause. I don't get down very easily. And I just learn, study, experiment. Even if I physically cannot go to my workshop, I would make my calls. Thank God for technology. You have FaceTime, video, create situations, create pace, create molds, do research, share it, and sample. So yeah, that's the one hiccup.
So, you keep at it. Basically, don't stop there, but you keep, getting
Yeah.
better and better
So
and working
as-
towards the result.
That's right. And your question was, what is the one challenge, right? Is that my interpretation was correct, or the one thing that I don't share?
Yeah, that you've
So-
never shared publicly.
So this is, I would not call it a challenge. Again, I would say certain phases in my life. Again, the P word, right? So I would, use it well.
So there have been several major surges in cocoa prices over the past year or two, I think. How has this impacted the chocolate industry, both creatively and commercially?
So cocoa prices have been affected every time there is a economical change in the graph, etc., share prices. It is affected, full stop.
Or the crop?
Definitely crop,
Yeah.
but including shares. Cocoa and cocoa beans are traded in
Yeah.
the stock market.
Yeah.
As we all know, and if you don't, in the early years by the Aztecs and the Mayans, the cocoa bean was used as a currency. So coming back to how does it affect the cocoa prices, basically how does it affect chocolate prices that you're going to buy and eat? It affects it. It has been happening decade on decade, and the prices have surged, for sure. Planet and the planet environment conditions, primarily more in the Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast, and in Latin America, in South America, and all the plantations, there has definitely been a certain understanding of optimal crop being produced. Now, there has been a lot of development in this area to keep supplying, because demand has increased. Supply is said to decrease. But there have been many really good answers and good solutions that have taken place world over. So in India, we have seen a lot more farmers cultivating cocoa. With hand, cocoa in Madagascar, just like the vanilla pod actually, we have seen people have hand pollinated certain very precious crop.
In India as well?
Not in India yet.
Okay.
There has been a surge in a lot of cross-pollination, which has resulted in a couple of genetics that have amalgamated and produced a new kind of cacao. The plantation. So there has been a lot of changes. Now there is even a brand new kind of cacao bean, which is not cacao at all. And that is said to have the taste of cacao. So there's a lot of experimentation going on in that. Yes. And of course, unfortunately, to make the cocoa beans and the chocolate paste last longer with chocolatiers, with bakers, confectioners, one is finding that there are a lot more inclusions that are happening in chocolate. So before, if you had pure chocolate, like a pure chocolate bar, today those are becoming more and more precious, especially if they are single origin, from a single plantation, bean to bar, from a micro batch of only 80 kilos, you will find those bars are really precious.
Like gold.
They are like gold. And people buy it and stock up on it because they enjoy chocolate. They know their chocolate. The key word being to know your chocolate, which is what I actually love to share, But coming back to how does your cocoa stock in a bakery or in a confiserie, conditorai, or, with the chocolatiers as well, they add a lot more of perhaps caramels, fillings. There has been the birth of unlimited kinds of chocolate fillings that are taking place, which is not chocolate. That's not chocolate. Those are candies. Those are not chocolate. Chocolate as we know it is pure.
Yeah.
Is the cocoa bar by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know white chocolate is not chocolate actually.
I'm not a chocolate snob, Rakhi. I love white chocolate, depends on the mood and the moment, actually. And, it can be really beautiful
Yeah.
if produced in a chocolate factory from the bean and the cocoa mass is separated. What is left is the cocoa butter.
Cocoa, exactly.
And when you add good milk and some amount of sugars or alternative to sugars, could be fruit puree, could be anything, it's made out of cocoa butter. And when something is made with cocoa butter, there are certain parameters that you have to adhere to, that you have to have X percentage, of cocoa butter in order to call it a chocolate.
Of course, yeah.
Now, cocoa butter is extremely expensive. It's a very important ingredient. And that's what makes that a chocolate and can command the price of a good chocolate.
Yeah. What I've been seeing in our industry, in bakery industry, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rakhi, that chocolate in India, it almost covers a 60 or 70% space when it comes to cakes and pastries.
Yes, it does.
And the consumption of chocolate is going up like crazy. And in spite of those, surge in prices and, the prices of cocoa butter is almost triple now.
Yes.
And the way it has gone up, but you do not see any slowdown in consumption of chocolate. And that's a beautiful thing. I remember reading a couple of years back, many years back, before COVID, that, एक time आएगा अभी बहुत जल्दी that there would not be any chocolate left in this world. By 2020, there would be no chocolate. That's what I was told in 2008.
Yeah,
or
when
2000s.
when
That's
all
right,
that
that's
issue
right.
happened
Yes,
with the prices,
yes.
it
And-
did come around. Everyone was talking about that.
And look
yes,
at chocolates now.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing. This is something which, as you said, that some point of time, somewhere it was used to be, they used to use as a currency, and in fact, I won't lie that as a child we used to use it as a currency to
bargain with
to
the
bargain
fam-
with our friends and all, in family, So chocolate.
Yeah, it still goes on.
Yeah. Chocolate. As I talk to my kids, and they always say that, listen, chocolate is not to be shared with anybody.
Yeah.
Chocolate is something we should not be sharing with anybody. Anyways.
So,
That's
could
fun.
you share the challenges and some pivot points or something, and like maybe some proud moments that along the way that you've experienced while building this empire?
So, literally, in 2 bullet points, the challenges I personally encountered was dealing with humidity.
Yeah. Okay, that's.
And the
I have
second-
to give that to you for sure.
And the second thing, probably I don't know whether it would be first or second, to be honest, logistics. So, logistically, to transport chocolate, people, I still have people, they come in, they buy chocolate, and they go shopping. Where is the chocolate kept?
Oh,
The
yeah.
car is in parking. It's behind with the tissue box. And I come back and say, ये क्या है? सब पिघल गया. And I still give a complimentary replacement because I spend time then explaining क्यों पिघला. और chocolate last में खरीदो, सीधा आप कहाँ रखो और कैसे
So
खाओ.
it's safe to say that people are not very well, they're not aware. The knowledge part is missing. They don't know how to keep things. They don't know how to use things, and that's a challenge even I have felt. I feel being a chef in the industry that they don't have the knowledge. They don't know what to do with it, how to go about it. Do you feel that's the reason?
So for me, I look at it as the greatest potential. For me, that is the biggest thing that we need to engage in. If we want to produce and share excellence, we need to focus on knowledge building. We need to focus on education and not
Yes.
give it these large, classroom kind of teachings. It's got to be, I do that. I have started doing this over a decade. Small batch experiences where you teach them the varieties of chocolate. If you have a particular kind of, a dietary restriction, like if you are pre-diabetic or diabetic, or you kind of want to go on a keto diet or cut back on something because you're a sports person, there's no really big deal as long as you know what you eat. So knowledge and knowledge building to me is the biggest thing that I've been focusing on, which includes tasting, it includes storage, logistics, humidity, just short and sweet, conducted in short classes, which I like to call my enthusiast classes.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So I build that.
Yeah. So this gives a great insight that, possibly you're doing it in your own capacity as a chocolate lover, and, you're really, really into chocolates. And we all know that. But this also gives an opportunity to all big organizations who
That's right.
who are in chocolate industry to possibly, work on educating people more about chocolates, what chocolate is supposed to be, how it is made, how it is brought in, how it is supposed to be transported, logistics, how it is supposed to be consumed. I think there are loads and loads of opportunities
How it's supposed to be stored.
Yeah, how it's supposed to be stored. So loads of opportunities for
And who
organizations.
can eat which chocolate when?
Yes,
Because
yes.
if you don't sleep at night, but you love chocolate.
Yeah.
If you are a senior citizen like myself, what's good for you?
Yeah, yeah.
In terms of the minerals or everything that exists in the goodness of the little cacao bean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's important to know.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about kale leaves and curcumin, but chocolate is still continually regarded as chalona. It's an indulgence.
Yeah.
It is celebration.
Yeah.
It is to be gifted, but it is really important to consume it correctly with knowledge.
Yeah.
So it actually adds joy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Chefs, brands, and all creators, what I understand, they all work together to shape the food trends, right? So, what does innovation look like in Indian dessert scene today?
So honestly speaking, food has been for a particular, I would say, for the next gen and for a lot of the young working class kids, fast food. That's a great thing. But as a habit, I believe that there's going to be a huge shift. So fast chocolate, fast food, fast life, all of it has just one word, which is fast, which means things which are instant satisfaction, instant pleasure, and instant availability. Kam se kam mehnat, basically. So to me, I believe that a lot of people, when we go down to, say, beautiful words like a chocolate cafe or a chocolate library in so many, supermarkets and stores which sell premium product, everyone thinks that it's all done for them. It really isn't. It's important that you first know what you like, A, critically, what's good for you in the form of it fits into your diet, you want it as a mid-morning snack, you want it as a lovely chocolate shake after your workout because that's just going to help your metabolism, or are you just happy because you want to have that beautiful chewy caramelly bar? So if it is exactly this that I would address, which I frequently do, I would say that chocolate, primarily a darker variant of chocolate, mind you, a 54% chocolate bar is also a dark bar. Any bar that does not have dairy or alternate to dairy is dark because there's just the dark component. Is not really amazing for you, like a 54%. The balance is all sugar. So I would say that the shift for the future is to consume a product with really as minimal sugar as you can palate. I think it applies to everything cross-board in the sweet industry, in the sweet vertical. People are seeking out to find fresh, small batch, not made with very large commercial and industrial homes and factories. Even if it is, the conversation, the communication, people are choosing to read, which one never did. You know, so even me, like I completely love and indulge myself. I love my fudges and I love my caramels. I will not negotiate, because the minute you start negotiating and reading everything, the fun's gone.
Absolutely.
So you must enjoy, you must indulge. But if it's a habit, you got to know what's going in. And that is the shift.
And the Indian desserts as well. I mean, you see the same thing.
Entirely in the sweet segment.
Yeah.
So people are veering about, toward words that say paleo. So like a paleo cake or a paleo, depends how you wish to pronounce the word. People are veering towards like a dark, decadent chocolate cake rather than a triple layered, fresh cream loaded. I will have that cake, the one with the fresh cream, mind you. But people are trying to eat a little more what people are seeing in the media. But the walkaway that they take, the takeaway is, let's move towards dark. So I have so many clients who turn around and say, Zeba, I demolished my 54% dark chocolate. So I'm in my diet. And I'm like, yes, you are in your diet because you had the urge. But next time, try and push your palate towards a 70% or 85% and try not to eat the entire bar. Yeah. Because by the time you eat the real thing, you eat less of it very automatically because you're already satisfied.
So you're seeing this in Indian mithais as well?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Like today, I mean, I make guilt-free marzipan. Like marzipan, wohi to cheese hai. It's a nut paste. So I make a pistachio marzipan, a hazelnut, a cashew, or a almond, and a macadamia. Again, an all-time favorite, marzipan, a Brazil nut. Now, of course, these are very exotic nuts. They are not easy to find. They are highly expensive because a lot of them are imported. But the ones that you can find is the almond. And, a beautiful almond marzipan, freshly made for you, is just divine. And why do I say it? Because the person you buy it from and the person who's consuming it need to understand how much sugar did you put in. Yeah. Is this a low sugar? These are the questions people are asking.
Yeah.
They're looking for a 2-ingredient product, 3-ingredient product, rather than, like a 7-8 ingredient product. Yeah.
I think, Raki, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you will also agree with me that mithais and desserts and chocolates are supposed to be indulgence.
Right? Of course. And I feel the industry has gone more towards, there's no line drawn now. So, that is what we wanted to know, that there's no line drawn. So I feel chocolate with the mithai, fusion, the new recipes that are coming, people are very innovative and people are trying all these things.
And chefs are trying, across.
Even I would want to try something
and try
different.
Something that's good for you without compromising on a thing.
Well, same here. By virtue of being in Riches, oh my God, the amount
you get
of
to
tasting,
indulge.
the amount of tasting we have to do. So
right?
You can imagine.
Oh, lucky.
That's what my daughter says.
I've enjoyed so many of your good products, actually.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I remember I used to teach at home and I had a partner, and that's when Rich had been launched. This was when my daughter was 2 years old, two and a half, 3 years old, I guess. And she had done some content, with recipes that Rich had just come in. Because before that, everyone only knew of dairy cream, and people didn't know how to handle that too.
Yeah.
And when they came, they actually solved that problem for people.
Yeah.
Because people didn't know how to use whipping cream. They would curdle it, then there was this typical bowl of ice, do this, do that, all that tam jam.
Yeah, yeah.
And here's when Rich comes in and all your problems are
Yeah,
solved.
Rich has made it.
It's
made it
whipping,
different,
it's
yeah.
baked stable, it's this, it's that, and it's made bakers' life easier. All pastry artists and everything, there's so much they can achieve
Yeah.
thanks to this, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's true. Thank you so much.
So my question to you is, if you had to reimagine the whole chocolate space, coming in the next decade, I mean, with all this, white spaces or all the challenges that we're going to face, what do you see? What do you see is going to happen?
Lovely. So I teach how a person can make chocolate in their very own kitchen. It really sounds wild, but it's like when we were told you can have the coffee beans and you can roast it and you
Yes,
can
of course,
crush
yeah.
it and you can make your own beautiful brew. It sounded Greek, right? It sounded crazy, but it's happening, and all of us do that. We all enjoy, roasting, crushing, and making our own brew. So very similarly, cocoa beans are going to be on your shelves if they are not already on your shelves in certain premium supermarkets. That's going to be something that I see. The other thing I see is making small batch chocolates at home, very easy, and or making it at a workshop like a homepreneur, because that's who I mentor, doing it for clusters, communities. I see that as a really big thing because I encourage it, I teach it. So coming back to the markets, what do I foresee? And I have already seen there has been there's been a shift, there's been an awareness, but it's only in the nascent stage, is bean to bar chocolates and micro batch chocolates, freshly made just in the various percentages, with the various percentages, with the various notes, certain red fruit notes, certain yellow fruit notes. So I see that there's going to be a huge demand for such things.
One quick question to add on to this.
Right.
I mean, even I'm a teacher. So I want to understand, when you talk to people and you know that knowledge has been a problem over here, people don't understand. How do you explain what is a compound chocolate and what is a core chocolate? What is your easiest way of explaining to someone who doesn't understand the science bit of it? Those big terms of crystallization, pre-crystallization. How would you quickly explain them that?
So Chef Rakhi, what you said is something which I would teach, where pre-crystallization, tempering, which is a more colloquial word, I would teach that to people I am mentoring to make chocolates, right?
Yeah.
But what I have seen is there is a huge spurt in people who want to know about chocolate, what to choose. So I begin just with the cocoa bean. And this tiny little bean, which is kept in front of you, I show the process of crushing it. Then it becomes a mass. The product and the byproduct that comes out is the cocoa butter. So every product that is made with the cocoa butter and or the mass and cocoa butter is a chocolate. If the cocoa butter, because it's too expensive, is removed and you add dalda, vanaspati, various types of fats, and you add that to the cocoa mass, it continues to look brown. So that's what it is called
The cocoa.
chocolate, but the fat alternative, which is not a cocoa butter, makes it cheaper, makes it easy to work with at home if you are a cake maker.
So no tempering required.
No tempering
basically.
needed.
Yeah.
But like from my experience, how I kind of do it, I teach chocolate making at all levels. I
Yeah.
also teach chocolate making to NGOs because, दिवाली में हम सब मिठाई बना लेते हैं.
make, yes, and
तो
they help.
आजकल गिफ्टिंग में
Such a
chocolate
beautiful thing. That is such
बहुत
a
बहुत
beautiful
अच्छा है.
thing. Yes.
एंड दिवाली में सब कहते कि मैडम बस हमें आमंड रॉक बना के बताओ. सो इन दैट वे स्पेशली to I teach partially sighted and non-sighted children and communities.
Yes, and they make a living out of that. They
So-
sell it, which is so nice.
So
which is
that's
such a
beautiful.
sweet
And they
gesture.
also make the package. But here, they can't temper, right?
No,
So
they
that's
can't.
a limitation.
Obviously.
Machinery, tempering machines,
No,
etc.
no,
are, I mean, honestly speaking, not a necessary requirement at all. So I kind of show them the difference, make them taste, because you can, when you rub cocoa butter and when you rub a non-cocoa butter product, from the aroma itself, from the feeling itself, they are way sharper than me. So they get it.
Because the other senses are obviously
Everything
more
is
heightened,
strong.
definitely,
And
yes.
then they can work. I've made Ganeshas. I see such beautiful Ganeshas where we are sitting. So I've made Ganeshas out of chocolate with a sculptor,
That's
Kayur
amazing.
Patel.
Yeah.
So I've worked with that, but in certain conditions where I melt it in a melting pot with water underneath, so a bain-marie, as it's called, and I've cool it, not in a cool shrunk or a temperature, humidity controlled refrigerator, but an ordinary refrigerator mein hum dalte. So
Obviously.
here I work with non-cocoa butter
Jugaad.
products. Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah,
So the point is made.
of course.
And they can continue their kalakar, but with knowledge. So ये बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है.
True, true.
So now with consumers becoming more mindful of ingredients, sourcing, and even storytelling, how has your product development philosophy evolved over a period of time?
Philosophy, my favorite subject. Oh my God. So, I mean, basically, it's a lot like Stoicism. You be good. Above all, be good. That is a very, very important statement to me. There is this book called Above All, Be Good by Gilad Sommer. It was a gift to me. And I find myself reveling in the philosophy of Stoicism because it basically is, and this is something, even before I was a philosopher, I was all of, I think, 22, as Raki mentioned, in my younger days, when I would be with my mom and she'd be trying something new, like a recipe at home, entertaining, and she said, oh gosh, Zeba, I'm trying out this new recipe. What do you think? And as a child, this was my philosophy, that, Mama, if you put in good ingredients, only good will come out.
Of course, yes.
So this is, as a child, no one taught me this.
Yeah.
It was something, I would say, naturally. Today, in the industry of chocolate, because that's what we are talking about today, and that is my pet subject, my pleasure and my joy. Honestly speaking, if you do and put really good ingredients. Now, what is really good? It's a very relative word, good. To me, like, if you live in a particular area and you take time to learn about the various ingredients, it doesn't take more than 15, 20 minutes per ingredient, frankly. Everything is available on your phone. When you learn a little more, you have a tendency to choose better. So when you create a chocolate with good ingredients that you have access to, your product's going to be amazing. And that is my philosophy in when we as a team, I have a beautiful team, And we've stayed together. We've weathered many a storm. Many are, in all our phases of our lives. Some have been with me 4 decades, 3 decades, whatever.
Wow.
It's been a journey, and it's been a learning, very important, and a lot of adaptations. Whether it's a recipe, whether it's how you work and perform, consumer choices, the truthful philosophy, and how do you sustain yourself is learn about packaging, use things that like are biodegradable, try to not overuse packaging which has chemical reactions, use good product, do small batches frequently rather than lots of batches and store it.
Yeah.
Keep your recipes minimal in terms of ingredient, and make sure that there is a lot of hygiene. Hygiene of course, the area, hygiene of your machines, but there has to be a lot of hygiene in your performance, your production, in your packing. It means basically cutting out too much riffraff and unnecessary stuff. So to me, the philosophy that I work with my product is, above all, try your best and give the best.
Use the best ingredients.
That's right. That you can lay your hands on today, because you can't. Nothing lasts forever. So if you have bought better ingredients that were available today, they may not be available in your area. And people ko ye bhi hai ke this is instant pickup, gifting, enjoyment, indulgence, aaj abhi isi waqt. So you have to make sure that you have enough of the best ingredient you can lay your hands on without compromise.
Yeah. And sourcing it from ethical places.
That's right.
And, packaging it right. And,
that's correct.
And you said about the storytelling part as well. What do you feel about the storytelling part?
To me, it's about nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like where chocolates come in, sweets come in, it's all from your memory, recesses of your memory. So आज के बच्चे बहुत लोग मलाई की दूध पफ जो कहते, बहुत बच्चों तो ये बात दूध पफ क्या चीज़ है सुना ही नहीं है. Have you heard of दूध पफ?
दूध पफ के
दूध
बारे में.
पफ is what in the olden days as the Nawab of Lucknow, he had no teeth. इसकी भी एक कहानी है.
Yes, of course.
So he couldn't eat, he couldn't eat hard sweets. So he told his chef, जो कुछ एकदम ऐसी चीज बनाओ कि दांत नहीं टूटे. So उसने वो दूध की पफ जो मलाई को मार मार के, and he had only kind of flavored it with a touch of cardamom and saffron, and mar ke for a long time kept it outdoor on the roof, and it grew into a big puff like cotton wool, like a cloud, and that was eaten. And that particular things no one has right now. So to me, it's bringing food back, bringing memories back, going back into roots. That's what makes you unique.
It's nice.
Yeah.
मुंह में पानी आ गया.
Yes. So the next segment, really fun. Sugar, spice, and all things nice.
Oh, goody.
So this is a rapid fire round. Brace
Okay.
yourself. All right.
I am waiting.
Okay. So quick, easy, rapid.
Sure.
And let's get the best out of her, PC.
Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Or the worst.
I mean, you decide.
Describe one dessert which best represents your personality.
Can I really
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Oh.
Candy
Yes.
floss and caramel.
Done,
and I
done,
don't
done.
have to say one word now. I
Yeah.
want to say caramel and candy floss.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's okay. We give you. All right, the next one's for you. What's a bizarre food combo that you think works?
And it did, was wasabi and 80% dark chocolate.
Yes, okay.
Wasabi
I'm-
and 80%
I'm
dark
Oh
only
my God,
hearing
that
all
ganache
this.
was
I mean, I
exquisite.
thought we were going to have a chocolate tasting round, right?
Yeah, we'll have it after
I've
this.
been duped, guys, so don't know your question.
No, I never dupe. Aapki bhi bari hai.
Okay.
Okay, so
Ji.
what's a trend you secretly dislike?
So I'm not in love with fusion food.
Oops.
I
I thought you loved me.
well, you're as clean and clear as they come, girl.
But I'm known as the fusion queen, so
No, but again, fusion particularly,
Yeah.
when I have been asked to, in what I do, not
Yeah, of
trying to be
course.
diplomatic about you
Yes,
and
of
what you
course.
do,
No.
basically and genuinely, when I've been told that we are hosting a pure Indian table and we want Indian sweets in chocolate, it's not difficult when I make something called the filter coffee, okay, where I make a beautiful coffee ganache touched with dalchini, cinnamon. I also make masala chai, tea bonbons flavored with all Darjeeling, Assam. So that is fusion.
Yeah.
But that is my ode, my celebration of the ingredient. What I have been also asked to do is, beta, chocolate के पेट में आप थोड़े से बूंदी लड्डू डाल देंगे.
Oh God, did I really hear you say that?
You
Chocolate
did.
के पेट
पेट के अंदर.
And मैंने वो भी डाला है और बूंदी
Yeah,
बनाना.
this is bizarre. So
सच्ची.
this, yes, the dialogue itself is only something I'm going to remember this
Yeah.
lifelong now.
चॉकलेट के पेट के अंदर बूंदी के लड्डू.
I'm going to ask this next time where I go कि इस chocolate के पेट के अंदर क्या है?
So I had my घर का महाराज come and make bundi, and then I put it into
In the chocolate का पेट.
Chocolate का पेट.
I love this.
I have put Agra ka petha inside chocola. I have put chena. My favorite
Yeah.
is chom chom. Oh gosh.
Oh.
So, but I couldn't put that chom chom
This
inside
is
chocolate.
a very, very difficult podcast. I am very hungry now.
Shrikhand in hollow chocolate cups. So that is not something
You didn't
that.
put Shrikhand in the पेट?
अरे वो पेट में नहीं डाला जा सका because वो काफी soft है ना.
Soft है, yeah. Okay.
पर मैं अंदर candy floss जरूर डाल चुकी हूँ.
Okay, superb, superb. All right, so the most overused ingredient you think today?
Preservatives.
I think that's a good one.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, reveal a guilty food pleasure.
For me, I can endlessly eat marron glacé, candied chestnuts. You give me a box of 24, I will eat it.
I love those too.
I love
And
candied
the extra
chestnut.
sugar that has on top.
So
Yeah,
that's but I'm not guilty. So does everything have to be
But
guilty?
I can eat 2-3 of those and my daughter looks at me, she's like, you know how much sugar that is? I'm like, yeah, but it's amazing.
I love, out of all the candied fruits, it's to me candied chestnut. Caramel, I mean, okay, you said guilty. What am I guilty of?
Guilty food pleasure.
So every time I'm sent samples, I have a tendency that if I like a sample, I end up eating it all before I experiment with it. And it could be as much as 100, 200 grams of the most beautiful filling.
Nice.
You know, like
nice.
I have a problem. So
So, busy, next time you're sending her a sample, make sure it's a kilo.
Yeah.
Yeah?
All right. Thank you very much, Zeba, for your
Pleasure.
time. It was lovely having a conversation with you. And thank you, Rakhi, for being part of this Between Bytes with Riches. And
Pleasure, but I am hungry, I am salivating, so I'm not going anywhere till you feed me.
Likewise, likewise. No, we'll have some nice food now. And I look forward to seeing you once again on our next episode, Between Bytes with Riches. Thank you.